Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This is the Gallivanter Baller ST, and I'm about to find out if it'll off-road. This is the final week of the contract DLC testing videos. Of course, the Toros is just one that we realized we had never tested and wanted to get that in. It obviously is not from this DLC. This one's been out for a while, and yet it hasn't. It's either the newest vehicle or one of the oldest, because it was free at Christmas, but you couldn't buy it after that free. Well, I couldn't down right away. But you couldn't buy it right after it was free. You had to wait about 6 weeks before it went on sale again. So hopefully you got it for free. It's nice. Has a lot of nice liveries and some interesting visual modifications that kind of slightly differentiate it from a Baller LE LWE, because that's basically what it is. They're both about the same size. But we will be testing two of the old Ballers. We tested way back when, I don't remember how long ago, the Baller LE, just the standard one, non-armored. I could do like every variation of the Baller LE. Oh my god, this thing. We'll talk about that in just a second. We could do every variation of the Baller, but we're not gonna. We've done this one. We've done the LE. We'll do the two old school Ballers, because they are slightly different in terms of performance, and then we'll have enough Baller representation, I do believe. But this thing's just not good off-road. It just isn't. It has the same problem that the LEs have, in that, yeah, it's all-wheel drive, but it's also like a quote-unquote high-performance SUV. And so it has a ton of low-end torque, but not enough grip to back it up, so all four wheels often spin. It's also a bit bouncy on the bumps, and that's what happened. Both those issues that we had, one with that first big climb, it had bounced when I was trying to make the turn, and of course the front wheels on the ground, you're not turning. And then the next time when I nearly went off, same thing. It had bounced, and I just couldn't turn. It also has really, really bad understeer and the tendency to want to try to roll over. So it's just, I don't know. You would think of something based on a Land Rover, or Range Rover, or whatever. I always forget which is which designation on their cars. You would just think that something based on that would just be more competent off-roading game, but it's just not. Those things are fantastic off-roaders. They're expensive off-roaders, but they're fantastic. Oh my god. Yeah, see, it's a handful. It's a mess. It really is a mess. Don't honk at me. Settle down. But everybody else joined me, and we look like a footballers club going to dinner in London or something. Almost rolled on me again. At least it climbed this bit. You know, throttle modulation does help, but only somewhat. But we're up to 43. Will it off-road? Yeah, I mean, it will. It'll get up there. And we say anything under 3 minutes is good, but I really wouldn't recommend it. It's just not the environment for this vehicle. It just isn't. It is a struggle and a half to really get this thing up and down. However, the time of 2:43, I believe it was, makes it 58th overall out of 300 and just bump J-Bo's out of the way. 338 vehicles that we've tested as of this video. It is a dead tie with the Ocelot Jugular. Interesting. And it is 0.015 seconds faster than an XA21. It is 7th in SUVs, so nothing too terribly special. That's at a 22 that we've tested, so it is in the top third. It is 0.317 seconds slower than the Classic Ranger, and 2.783 seconds faster than the Granger 3600 LX. So it's got a little Granger sandwich going on there. As far as the contract DLC, it is 8th. It is 5.08 seconds slower than an iWagon, and of course, faster than the Granger we just talked about. The theme of this week's video, though, is disappointing SUVs, but you don't have to be disappointed in them if you take part, in the entertainment that they brought us. And how do you do that? Well, you do that with the behind the scenes video. You knew I'd talk about it. The behind the scenes video is the ad-free, less edited version of the video where we have in just outtakes and just other behind the scenes things, as well as our Discord conversation. Oh, that's some good driving skill to save that. I got hit by Charlie. But you can take part in that one. You need to be a member of the Vainglorious Discord server. That is important because I post the link to the supporters videos as well as the supporters playlist of videos in that channel. And then to get access to that channel on Discord, you need to have one of the following 3 services linked, either YouTube, Twitch, or Patreon, or all 3, and then be a member on YouTube, or be a subscriber on Twitch, whether it's paid, Prime, or gifted, or make a pledge over at patreon.com/Vainglorious. God, this thing just rolls all the time. Do all those, be a member of the Discord, and you'll get access to the supporters channel, which has perks other than just ad-free videos and other things. I'm thinking about making like every video I upload ad-free for supporters. Maybe, possibly. It might be a thing I'm going to do in the future. But we're down 2 minutes, 34 seconds. So, there we go. We'll wait for them to fly over. Didn't even wait for the landing. How rude. Lovely sunset drop here for our damage descent. Once again, in that golden hour. And, ooh, big kick flip off the boulder. I got a lot of air, but I didn't go very far forward. So it looked really impressive, but now I'm like way behind everybody else. I'm just going to punt Dark Doctor down the hill for a while. You know, I mentioned it looked like we were a football club. I'm just getting a little practice. And of course, that's real football, not American. What, I don't know, hand egg game. What do they call it? I don't know. Egg handball game. Fuck it, I don't care. Call it whatever you want. It's not a real sport. It's men with gladiator padding in tight pants, patting each other on the butt and playing with a egg-shaped pigskin. It's dumb. You can dislike the video. You can hate on me in the comments. American football's stupid. It just is. It's a lot of timeouts where we just sit around and listen to the sponsors and old men who are no longer capable of playing the game spout statistics. Let's face it, it's true. Anyways, I'm done. I'm not gonna. I hate football. It's dumb. What's not dumb though is World Off-Road. I love doing World Off-Road. I hate that we don't do it just year-round anymore. But I do think it's best that we take breaks. I am just stuck. That didn't make it any better. Now Hobo's honking at me. Now I'm like, look, there's not much I can do about gravity, okay, pal? Leave me alone. And then he's just going to nudge me out of the way. I think he said something like, speed is key. I must have speed. And we both failed the woodpile jump. It never was going to happen. Not in this thing. Or maybe it would. Okay, never mind. Just proved wrong. We're down 2 minutes, 4 seconds. So let's take a look at the damage on the Baller ST. All of the windows are gone. Most of the lights are missing. The bumpers, the left front fender, all the doors, and the hood are gone. And there are bent wheels. You may notice nobody's over there in their normal spot. That's because we are now going to a new spot so people can just, back there, see? People can just, mess about on the highway while I'm doing my spin around shot, as long as I don't mess up my camera shot. There's our sport vehicles. Everybody got fairly battered. Hobo seems to have taken the worst of it. But that is going to bring us to our next vehicle. The Pegassi Toros. Another disappointing SUV. I'm not even going to attempt to name what DLC this was part of. I guess I could look on my phone while we're waiting. Let's see. Pegassi... No, not Pegasus. Pegassi Toros. Good job, autocorrect. Anyways, it was part of Arena War. I knew that. I totally knew that. It came out on December 18th, something or other. It's already off my phone. I totally knew this was Arena War, and I wasn't going to guess the Nightclub DLC, whatever that one was called. What was that DLC called? This Nightclub? After Hours? No, that's The Sims. Maybe it was that. I don't know. Man, I can't be expected to remember all this stuff. The Nightclub DLC. We're just going to call it that. And if that's not what it's called, well, that's what it's called now. So, the Toros is a bouncy boy, which could make it a lot of fun for Will It Off-Road Bingo. You can play Will It Off-Road Bingo by clicking on the link in the description down below. And then once you get to that website, just click Generate New Card, and then tap or click on things as they happen in the video. And if you get bingo, leave it in the comments down below. You could be like our 6th winner ever in the history of Will It Off-Road, like 6 years. We've been doing Will It Off-Road Bingo for like 4.5 of those years. So, yeah, I totally ripped off the idea from Bruffy with G-Fred Bingo. Which, hey, G-Fred can be seen on my channel as well. Every Saturday afternoon right here on YouTube. We have the Vainglorious Community Stream, and it usually features a G-Fred. We like ending the stream with a G-Fred. There's, granted, not as many of us, but there's usually 5 to 8 of us, and so, the competition could be a little more fierce, or it can be non-existent if you happen to be really lucky and the gates of Fort Zancudo open for you, but no one else. Still just a little bit bitter about that. But yeah, the Toros, it's just bouncy. It does okay at putting its power down. There is still a bit of wheel spin from the front wheels, but not as bad as we just saw in the Baller. However, I'm going to get lost at the top of the mountain, so a weird thing is going to happen, and we'll talk about it, and we'll explain our methodology for the time. Oh, look, an Avenger appears. We'll talk about it all, but basically what happened is I thought we had already done the controlled descent, and we were going back up for a damage descent, so I just started driving over the damage descent area. Yeah, it happens. But the bounciness sent me off to the side a little bit there. Definitely costing this thing a lot of time. I don't know, it's just not planted. And because of that, in situations like this and a lot of other off-road areas where, it's really bumpy terrain, you're going to have a bad time. And I can't really recommend taking this thing off-roading because of that. I mean, it gets a decent time. Here we go. Right there, I'm just like driving over for the damage descent. So I cut the timer here. 244 is what we're going to call it. So, will it off-road? Oh, it's going to take a minute to find out because I have to drive up to the spot. There we go. We're there. Pretend that didn't happen. Yeah, it does fine. It does fine. But, like I said, not really the best. Okay, so my methodology on the timer, since I kind of got lost, and that was my fault, and it added seriously added 25 seconds to the time. What I did is I went back and watched the videos from several SUVs that are kind of towards the upper half of the finish, and it took them on average about 5 seconds to get from where I turned left at the observation deck after climbing the rocks versus where I departed. So I froze it on that frame, then went forward 5 seconds, and that was the time. It seems about the most fair way to do it without asking the Vainglorious community to, rerun the climb back up. I didn't want to do that to them since it was my fault. And I think it's pretty fair to do that. Plus, this thing was never going to be a #1 contender, so I don't feel too bad about it not having the most accurate time. So yeah, but that does make it 66th overall out of 338 vehicles, 0.23 seconds slower than the Ocelot Ardent, and 0.12 faster than a Fister Growler. It is 8th in SUVs, 0.78 seconds slower than the Baller ST that we just looked at, and exactly 2 seconds faster than a Granger 3600 LX. Shut up, Malcolm. I don't like you. Quit calling me. God, I wish our phones in GTA had a block caller list. He's the only one that ever bothers me anymore since this update. Oh my God, this bouncy thing went rolling, and now we're in a tree. And yeah. I'm just going to skip that part. We're just going to go over here and manage to hit another tree. Looks like Hobo may have had an issue getting down too, because he's kind of ahead of me here just a little bit. And managed to spin out and go right over the trail. The Toros could have been so much better. The thing is that the stuff that's causing problems here on the mountain also costs a little bit of time on the track, and can make it a really challenging vehicle to race with. If you can keep it from bouncing around and keep it on the ground, it's quick in a race, but that's the problem, isn't it? Keeping it on the ground, not bouncing around. Yeah, it's a bit tricky. We're a little bit sideways, but we're down 2 minutes, 35 seconds. So we're going to go back to the top of Mount Chiliad. There we are. We're here. Hi. Rev it up and go. On our way to see what type of damage or what type of additional damage this thing can take. Managed to not do a kickflip. Man, I just can't English. Kickflip. Managed to not do one of those and controlled it somewhat in the air and got a decent landing, but then it just sort of being roly-poly. Everything's roly-poly down this part of the mountain, though. Not necessarily the Toros' fault. It's just gonna be what happened. Man, that is a bold choice, taking that dune. That is a choice. That thing, I can appreciate the comic meme of the dune, but I hate it. I hate it. I probably hate it because I dislike memes. But I just don't like it. I was so disappointed when it came out. I thought, oh, this is cool. We've got like this, you know, like Baja support truck, but the thing's useless off-road. It just bounces around and rolls over and lurches into wheelies and stoppies and all that. It's bad at what it's designed for. And of course, because it's so bad, people love it. I'm not one of those people. I might be better. Be good. Oh my God, another thread the needle. I'm getting amazing at that. Not really. I very rarely get it done. We just happen to have 2 videos back to back where I did manage to pull it off. However, I'm miles ahead of everybody else. Where is everybody? There's Hobo, I think, catching up. Now that we're in the really bumpy bits, of course, he's in the Toros as well, so he's not going to fare much better. Oh, nobody became the king. That's all right. Your one true queen is right here, friends. No way I was going over the woodpile, and we're down 1 minute, 38 seconds. So let's take a look at the damage on the Toros. All the windows, half of all lights, the hood, the front left door, the remaining doors and trunk won't close, and slightly bent wheels. And there we go. People are getting into the spirit of our new arrangement to just be doing things in the background for you to look at. Some people still just go park, and that's fine. They can just go park. But, or blow stuff up. It was Hobo that ran over Fagio, and it blew it up, and then his car caught on fire. Well, you can see what happened. There's the support vehicles. You can hear the explosions in the background. But that's going to do it for this Will It Off-Road. Until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.